Hey guys, welcome back to Non-League to Legend. Today we've got the start of Season 2. We've got the first two matches in League 1. We've got a lot to get through. We've got a lot of transfers. We've got some bad news regarding some of our key players from last season. And we've also got pre-season to look at. So let's just start with the transfers and get the bad news out the road. Transfers out. Stephen Mullen, probably our best outfield player last year, has technically left the club. He went to Dundee United for 6,500. They offered us him back on loan, which we absolutely grabbed. So we've got Stephen for one more season at least, and quickly following his departure, Cameron Walton left. Well, is technically leaving. His deal is 5,000 to Hearts, could rise to 20k. Again, they offered him back on loan to us, so we took that. This was just a youngster that I really didn't want to get rid of, but Morton came in from and we rejected the bid and he got a grump on, so we've let him go. There are a couple of other transfers going on as we speak. David Mullen is probably going to be leaving us. We've rejected quite a lot of offers for him, but there's just no having it. He probably is going to be leaving. And right now it's 12k to St Johnstone. Alistair McIntosh has also had quite a lot of bids in for him, but they weren't offering any money at all. But Kilmarnock came in for him, and he's probably on his way to Kilmarnock for 5,000. And that appears to be it. We did get an offer in for Lawler. We rejected it. He got a grump on, so he wanted to leave. So we accepted the next bid that came in from, which was from Kilmarnock, I believe. But he ended up rejecting the contract. So right now, he's still with us. I'm kind of praying that there's God out there and David and McIntosh will reject their contracts, but I doubt it. Transfers in. Obviously, Mullen's back on loan, and so is Walton. We loaned in Keelan Williams from Burnley. He's a 18-year-old Welsh right back. He looks pretty decent for this level, with a lot of room to grow. Not going to lie, I think I would probably like to maybe even bring him in at the end of the season if they let us. I don't know if Albion Rovers has enough pulling power for him, but I would love that. We got Ian Davidson from Brecon on a free. He is a 38-year-old Scotsman who's played quite a lot of football. He is in just as backup and experience. Next was Matty Bowman from Queen's Park. He is a 21-year-old English right back who has quite a lot of potential. He's currently a League 1 player, but he's got the potential to be a Championship player. This is Scottish League 1 and Scottish Championship, not the English version. But he looks pretty good. Next was Kyle Wilkie from East Fife for 4.2 thousand. He's more in for as a backup to add more depth. He's a 31-year-old Scottish midfielder. He doesn't look too bad, to be completely honest. He's lost a wee bit of his pace, but he's got key attributes for some of the positions that we play. Next player that we brought in was Andy Gagan from Dumbarton on a free. He's a 35-year-old Scottish right back midfielder. Again, another one of them that was brought in for more for the fact that he's versatility. He can play in quite a lot of positions. We did have some money to spend, so I thought I'd bring in at least a few backup players as well this year. Next was Neil McLaughlin on a free transfer. He's a 23-year-old Scottish striker or attacking midfielder. He's probably not going to feature much this year, but I think he could plug a hole here and there if we need him to. Next was Kane Hester from Elgin for 7,000. He is a 27-year-old Welsh striker. Again, I think he's more than adequate as a backup option, but I think he would be able to fill in. Again, I think he's a good backup option to the two strikers that we've got. Next was Sean Kelly on a free transfer. He is a 28-year-old Scottish left back. He looks pretty good, and the fact that we were able to get him on a free was rather awesome. He'll be fighting McLaughlin for the left back position, so I think we are truly covered at the left back position. Next was Lewis McGrattan from Morton for 4.9 thousand. This one was more, the scout says he was better than what he actually was. They said he was a 4-star player, but he's come in at 3-star. But he's only 21, he's got potential to grow, so I'm happy to have him. He probably could do a decent job, because let's face it, one of these players that I brought in are probably going to need to take the position of David Mullen. So the more players I've brought in, the better. Next was Will Bainham on a free transfer. He is a 25-year-old Canadian striker. He looks pretty decent. He's going to be leading the line with Lawler. I think that they two will make a good partnership. So I'm excited to have him in the team. Two more to go. We've got Craig Johnson from Montrose for 1.6 thousand. We had been chasing this guy for like a couple of weeks. He was going to be our main backup to the two starting strikers, but as you can see, we've brought in quite a few. But Craig Johnson looks more than decent to be a backup. If one of the strikers get injured, he could probably take their place. And last but not least, we've got Kyle McDonald from Dunfermline for 1.8 thousand. He was brought in for his versatility and the fact that he is just a good player. He's a 22-year-old Scotsman. He can play in a variety of positions, as you can see. He's got potential to grow into an even better player. And so far, that is all the transfers that we've done. Schedule-wise, pre-season could have went... Well, not so much pre-season could have went better. We won every friendly we played. We were in the Premier Sports Cup again, like group stage again. We beat Clyde 2-0, but we then get battered off of Queen of the South. We get beat off of Premiership St Johnstone, I think. That was only 1-0, so that was a pretty good showing after the 4-0 defeat. And then we get beat 4-3 off of Stenhousemuir, which was pretty disappointing. But then we beat Airdrie 1-0 in the friendly, and that leads us up to the first game of the season against Cove Rangers in the league. Now that that's all out the way, let's get stuck into the first league game of the new season, and we'll see the team that we're putting out to face Cove Rangers. And this is the team. We've got Mason in goal, McLaughlin, Semple, McIntosh and Williams at the back, Bagley, David Mullen and Gagan in midfield, Stephen Mullen supporting Bainham and Hester up top. I've just realised that you've not met the Barry Bagley yet. He came on loan at the end of last season. He's on loan from Fleetwood. He looks like a good player, and he looks as if he could grow into an even better player, so I'm glad to have him on board. Lawler is injured and will be for the next 2 to 3 months, so I'm glad we ended up bringing in all the strikers. So let's get underway. I think this is going to be a tough season for us. We were inconsistent last season, so I'm hoping that we're maybe a wee bit more consistent this year. I would love to be able to get off to a great start and get a couple of wins in the first 2 matches. But going away to Cove was a tough match. Cove Rangers are pretty decent at this level. There's a few tough teams in this league, to be completely honest. But last year we seemed to rise to the occasion when we were playing the better teams, so you never know, we could have a really good season. We're probably aiming maybe just above the relegation zone. But Cove Rangers have just took the lead through an awesome free kick. That was a really good free kick. But yeah, as I was saying, we're probably aiming for just above the relegation zone, hopefully. Fingers crossed. I'm not really wanting to get into the whole relegation battle. But from what we've seen so far, 30 minutes in, we're getting dominated by Cove Rangers. Probably looks as if it's going to be a fairly hard season for us. But with that, Kane Hester has put us. I've sent his level. Sorry, I don't know what I was going to say there. Kane Hester's brought us back. That was a good play from Stephen, to be completely honest with you. One each going into half time. We are doing well, so hopefully we could maybe try and snatch another goal and come away with the 3 points. Bagley with a corner towards Geoghegan, but cleared to McLaughlin. Can McLaughlin get the cross in? He does, but it's headed straight into the Cove Rangers keeper's hands. The one thing I have noticed in pre-season and that, especially in the Queen of the South match in pre-season, the Premier Sports Cup, we are absolutely dreadful at defending set pieces. I think 2 or 3 of their goals in that one match was all from set pieces. With Stephen Shrew, and Stephen scores, he puts us 2-1 ahead. That's his second of the season. That was a good pass to play him through. But Cove Rangers have got highlight immediately from kickoff. So I'm hoping we can stop them here, because I think they might end up scoring. William has it, plays it to Hester, who plays through Geoghegan. Geoghegan is through, and Geoghegan scores. He puts his 2 up, 3-1. That was an awesome pass, and it was a nice, cool, calm, collected finish from Geoghegan. Bagley now with the free kick, and he scores an absolute screamer. That's pretty much the goal that Cove Rangers scored in the first half. Just pause it there. Well, Bainham is playing okay. We'll put on Craig Johnson. What does he want to be? He can. We'll just switch these around. We'll just do that. David Mullen isn't really playing. McIntosh is having another dire game, but we don't really have the centre back that I would like to take his position. But we'll just put Davidson in there anyway, and hope he can do the job for us. Cove Rangers with the corner, and we managed to get it cleared. A wee bit of stuttering there. This second half's been the best we've probably played so far this season. We did have a few good results in pre-season, but I don't really count pre-season because like a lot of teams don't play at their best teams. Bagley with the corner. It's cleared by Cove Rangers. Davidson shoots but is blocked. We're actually playing really, really well. I never expected this sort of performance in the first day of the season, to be honest with you. Bagley with the corner again, but he keeps heading it towards the defenders. Williams now crosses it in, and the switch in camera angle threw me off there. McLaughlin to Hester. McLaughlin plays it forward, but it only goes to the Cove Rangers left back, who headers it back to his goalie. And it looks like we're going to be getting our first 3 points of League One. But Mason has absolutely flapped at that. I don't know what he was thinking there. That was terrible. But Bagley's got another free kick, and that was unlucky. Nearly got his second. I would really like it if they never scored again. Semple now to David, back to Mason, who lumps it forward to Hester, but he couldn't get it. Mason gets it again, lumps it forward again, straight to one of their defenders again. Mullen passes to Hester. Hester's brought down, and hopefully, the 30 seconds overtime. Hopefully, the ref is going to blow. Any time now, ref. Any time now. Thank you. That was a good one. That was a really good one. I never expected such a good performance from the boys there, but I should learn to have more faith. They done awesome last season, so let's hope for more of the same. I'll be back with the next match against Montrose in just a minute. Right, and we're back. Couple of bits of transfer news. David Mullen has left. We weren't able to get him back on loan for some reason, so he has officially left the club. McIntosh has also left to join Kilmarnock, but we got him back on loan. We also raided Peterhead for their 2 centre backs. Probably stupid the fact that they get relegated last season, but we brought in Jason Brown for 7.7 thousand. He looks pretty decent. He's a good League One player. He's 26 years old. Randomly, he can play right midfielder. Strange, but he looks pretty. He looks like a pretty decent signing. And we also got David Wilson for this same amount. He can play at right back as well, and he's actually classed as a League One player. So fingers crossed they can do the business for us. That's all that's happened. So this is the team that we're putting out against Montrose. We've got Mason in goal, McLaughlin, Semple, David Wilson, and Williams at the back. Bagley, Walton, and Geoghegan in midfield, and we've got Stephen Mullen supporting Bainham and Hester up front. I've just realised that we have 2 David Wilsons. We've got the centre back and we've got the midfielder. So I hope I don't get them mixed up when I'm making substitutions later on in the season. I don't know what to expect from some of these teams. I know I was saying in the last match that our team seems to rise to the occasion when we're playing the better teams, but because we were very inconsistent last season, I just don't know what to expect. But we're passing it around quite well. Williams is down the right, kind of find the cross. He crosses to Geoghegan, who shoots, and after some pinball, it's an own goal from off of Nathan Cooney. I don't care how they go in, as long as they go in. That puts us 1-0 up. We're passing that around lovely. This is kind of the way I like my teams to play. Passing it around. Always forget to turn that down. And we missed a goal from Andy Geoghegan. It looked as if he should, well, I missed it. You probably didn't. It's a fantastic start. 2-0 up inside 10 minutes. We're playing pretty well. I thought we were going to let in another goal from a set piece. Montrose seems to be flinging a wee bit more men forward, and Laidlaw has scored for Montrose. I don't know what the keeper was doing there. I don't know what Mason was doing, but it looked to me as if he fluffed these lines a wee bit. It looks like Williams is injured, so he might need to come off soon. And Montrose have equalised. See, this is the thing. Like, I don't really know what to say to them, because I don't want to get them annoyed at us by saying that they're not playing good, even though they're just newly promoted. Like, to me, I'm disappointed in that first half, because we were 2-0 up and we let two poor goals in. Bagley with a corner, Geoghegan heads over. That was unlucky. I'm glad to see that one going over. Montrose with the corner now, and again it's just over. Let's demand a wee bit more. Don't know what happened with that highlight. Montrose are now dominating the match. Let's make a sub. Let's bring on Kane Hester. Take off Kane Hester, sorry. And Cameron Walton isn't playing the best, so I think we'll bring on David Wilson for him. And hopefully one of them can maybe show us some magic. But Montrose attacking down our left. We managed to get the first cross clear, but the second is due to come in any minute. And here it is, and again it's just over. I feel like all our defenders are tiny, because we don't want any headers at the back. We're leaving them. We're just giving them far too much room. McLaughlin clears to Bainham. Sorry, Bainham. Yeah, I don't know what name I was thinking there. That was a poor tackle, and he was just let he was just left to run straight at the goalkeeper, but sadly, hopefully, gladly, he just kicked his shot straight at the goalkeeper. It looks like Kelty Hearts might be one of the teams to beat again this season. They're top of the table, I see. No wonder with their 40 goal a striker, 40 goal a season striker. Semple's taking the game by the scruff of his neck. He's went down the left. He's passed it to Bagley, who crosses it to McDonald. He passes to Wilson. Stephen shoots just over. That's our first proper highlight since our second goal. And finishes 2 each. Probably a wee bit unlucky. Kind of disappointed to have let the 2 goals in the way we did, but we need to remember we are a newly promoted side. We have brought a lot of players in, so we need to take that into consideration. But pretty happy with that. 4 points from our first 2 games for a newly promoted side. That's pretty decent. Unless you're Kelty Hearts, who are top of the table, and who we play next. Next episode will probably be Kelty Hearts and Airdrie. This season will probably be more like the last season, just because there's so little teams in this league. We play each other 4 times. I don't want to show you the same teams over and over again. So until things get interesting and cup runs of that, we'll probably get through these seasons quite sharpish. So hopefully you guys are okay with that. But if you liked that in any way, please hit the like button. If you would like to see more Football Manager 22 content on the channel, please subscribe, turn your notifications on, and thank you very much for watching.